Good morning and welcome back to our leadership empowerment sessions. When we are listening to what CEOs, individual entrepreneurs, and people in general are saying about 2024, we will hear a general consensus on what people are going through. There are so many attacks that they experience on such a wide variety of areas, from financial constraints, financial challenges, emotional challenges, interpersonal relationships that are under attack. And this is at home, at work, in various fronts. Even personally myself, we have never experienced so many attacks on a wide front like 2024. It's worse than we have experienced during the COVID season of the 2 years, the COVID period. And these attacks affects the morale of our staff, which in turn is affecting their productivity, which has an impact on a business profit margin. So today I'm starting a series on compounding leadership growth. In this series, we will be looking at what compounding leadership growth entails. We will look at strategies for the compounding leadership growth, and then we will close off the series on how to overcome these challenges that are hog-tying our leadership growth. So don't miss this two-part series on compounding leadership growth. But what is compounding leadership growth? What does it refer to? This is the aspect, the idea that small, consistent efforts of improvement in our leadership skills, our leadership behavior, and our habits accumulate over time, resulting in significant exponential leadership growth. So this is what compounding leadership growth is all about. The concept draws the inspiration from the financial world, where they talk about compounding interest. You don't just earn interest on 1 month, but you earn interest upon interest. So that is compounding interest. So in leadership development, what I do today and what I learn today and I learn tomorrow will be compounding. It will be pressed together, and that will affect our total leadership development. This is then the compounding leadership growth. The key element of compounding leadership growth includes continuous learning, consistent application of the things that we have learned, feedback, reflection, and understand that which will impact us over a period of time. Leadership growth is not just an event, it's a process. It is a journey over a long period of time. So this approach emphasizes long-term nature of leadership development, which will in turn lead to substantial and lasting positive outcomes in our development. So don't miss this series. I believe you will be empowered through these sessions. So we're going to start off by the importance of leadership development. Why do we need to develop and hone our skills, our effectiveness, and our habits? Leadership development is of paramount importance in various aspects of our life, both individually and corporately and organizationally. You cannot separate these entities from each other. If you empower an individual, it will influence your organization, which in turn will influence the household again, which will influence the community, and the community eventually the nation. So here are several keys that I want to give you this morning that highlights the significance of leadership empowerment or leadership development. Number one, enhanced organizational performance. Effective leadership directly influences the overall performance of your organization. Well-developed leaders can inspire and motivate individuals, teams, and fostering a positive and a high-performing work environment. This is a mouthful. And only on this topic alone, on this one element, one key element, I can unpack it in a whole session. But for the sake of time, I will just give you short summaries of each of these elements. And you can go and work on these elements yourself. And remember, all my teachings will remain on my Facebook page, and it will also be posted on my YouTube channel. And I want to encourage you, please go and subscribe to my YouTube channel. All the videos are there, and you are more than welcome to use the videos for training your staff, to utilize this in uplifting and empowering your staff. Or you can also call me and invite me to come speak and address your team, your top leadership, your mid leadership, and even your grassroots staff. I've been involved in leadership empowerment since 2002 as a master coach for Dr. John C. Maxwell. I've traveled beyond these material. I've developed my own material, written various books on leadership. I've traveled to 22 countries across the globe, from church to corporate to government sectors. I've been involved in various elements of leadership development, so you are more than welcome to contact me. So the second principle I want to quickly highlight is the adaptability to change. This is the only constant in life, and that is change. Leadership development equips individuals with the skills and the mindset to navigate through challenging, changing times successfully. We need to work on this. People by nature don't love challenges. And people go into a panic mode when things change. They don't like it. And that brings us to a place of resistance. But more about it a little bit later in the session. We are living in a time that things are rapidly evolving. Business is changing. Training is changing. The internet is faster. We are living in a global society where everything changes constantly. Once you think you are ahead, somebody else is already improving on what you have. And once you catch up to their change, there's another one that brings another change. So this is a constant process. The way we have been doing business, the way we have been leading, are changing constantly. People are connected to the internet. They are connected to YouTube clips, to short videos of empowerment. Whatever you need, you can Google it and you'll find it. You can go to ChatGPT and you'll find all this information. And we need to stay on the cutting edge as leaders. So in this rapid changing environment, we need to teach leaders to become adaptable, because adaptability helps us, and it is crucial for any organization's resilience, any organization's ability to adapt to change. Number 3, succession planning. This is one thing that I've noticed over the past 25 years since I've been in ministry, this is one area that the church is lacking a lot, and that is succession planning. We are so happy with people that are standing up and taking their place, standing up and taking their own place in the ministry, and we think they will be there forever. forget it. They won't be there forever. I am constantly on the lookout for people who I can train, who I can empower with leadership stuff. This coming Saturday, the 10th of February, I'm starting a new program again, which I've done last year. I'll do it again this year, at least twice, on public speaking, how to do public speaking, how to present your material, how that can be utilized in practical preaching. I must be constantly empowering others. Otherwise, I will burn out and the current leadership will burn out. This is less impactful in the secular world, because in the secular world people are constantly developing themselves. They understood the power of succession planning. Who is taking over from you? Who will do what you are doing right now? If there's nobody that can do what you can do right now, it means you will be doing what you're doing right now for a long period to come. That results in the stagnation of your own growth. So we need to do succession planning so that we can progress onto something new to do in our lives. So in this pipeline that we build up, we ensure a smooth transition from one leader to another. If a particular leader is leaving, is resigning, is going on pension, been redeployed, there must be a seamless transition. I'm currently going through a challenge, even though I believe in all these things. Sometimes it just happens that things are beyond your control and you need to adapt. You need to change. Succession planning is therefore critical for long-term sustainability and success of your organization. So let us work on a plan of succession training. Sit with your leaders, sit with your emerging leaders, hear where they want to go, identify the need in your organization, see what needs to be done, who needs to be trained, and train people even though there's no need. So when the need arises, you already have somebody to step up to the plate and embrace that new responsibility. So the next one is employee engagement retention. The outflow of people, in other words. Strong leaders will create a healthy workplace culture. They will help with the values in your organization to engage the staff. And this contributes to a higher job satisfaction. And a higher job satisfaction increases the morale and decreases the turnover rates in your organization. So make sure that your current leaders are rooted in the vision, the mission. Help them to embrace the values of your organization. Help them to step up to a certain level of job satisfaction. If they are happy in their place, it is a emotional thing. It is something that you cannot measure, but it has a huge impact on the morale of your staff. If your leaders are negative, your staff will be negative. So let us step to the next point. Innovation and creativity. I have just said a little bit earlier in this session. We are living in a rapid changing environment. We need to foster that desire in your leaders and your staff of innovation. We are living in a fourth industrial revolution. Things are changing rapidly. We cannot do things we have done 5 years ago. We have realized that with COVID-19 for 2 years, we had to change our whole organization, the way we do things, and how we produce and how we are functioning. So then we realized we need to change our way of doing. And now we are post-COVID. We cannot rest on our laurels now. We need to help people to become innovative, to become creative. That will become a driving force in your organization, and the culture of creativity will be established in your organization. So let us nurture creative problem solving and thinking out of the box. And this is where our younger generation are coming in very effectively. They are constantly challenging the status quo. They were always asking you questions, can't we do it differently? That's why on my leadership, I have people, young people, really young people, in their 20s. I have an advisor, hear this, listen, I have an advisor that is 15 years old on technology. Why must I reinvent myself if I can starve my weakness with people that are on a cutting edge of social media, on technology, on podcast, and so utilize that technology, bring in the younger generation to make sure that your organization is on the cutting edge of creativity. So let us push this of innovation and creativity. And the other aspect on our leadership development skills is conflict resolution. Conflict will be there as long as you have more than one person working together. There will be conflict from time to time. And remember, conflict is not negative. Conflict is a tool, a medium that can be used to strengthen relationships, to expand vision, to expand understanding. But if the conflict is not resolved, it shall be like a cancer that will eat from inside of your organization, and that will destroy the morale, that will destroy relationships, and you will end up in a huge conflict that can be destructive. So as an effective leader, learn the techniques of conflict resolution. I've got a whole program on conflict resolution, a whole teaching for a whole day, just on this one element of conflict resolution. And to help us in this conflict resolution, we must realize that team members face challenges and conflicts. It's a natural thing of human behavior. We need to develop the tools, the strategies to address this and to resolve conflicts quickly, constructively, in order to maintain healthy work environments and healthy work relationships. Think strategically is the next point. Leadership development encourages strategic thinking. We can't just stumble upon the next day and hope we will hit the target. No, you must sit down, have your indabas, have your team building sessions, have your strategic planning sessions with your core people, with your extended leadership, and eventually going over to the grassroots. Enabling leaders to make informed decisions aligned with the organization's objectives. Especially now, it's the beginning of the year. Heat the iron while it's hot. People think the year is still long. Now, before you wipe out your eyes, we are at the end of the year. We're already nearly in the middle of February. Some people are already starting to plan to spend their salaries of February. Strategic leaders are better positioned to guide their teams towards long-term success. So work on this. Cultivate leadership. That's the next point. Cultivate leaders at all levels. Leadership development is not just for the top tier management. Leadership development must go through the whole organization from top to bottom, from bottom to top. Make sure that everybody is empowered. Make sure that everybody is ready for the next assignment. And remember, leadership development is nothing to do with their position. Everybody has the potential already inside of them to lead wherever they are. It's not about your title. It's about your functionality and your effectiveness and influence you have. Fostering leadership skills at all levels promotes a culture of accountability, of ownership, and shared responsibility. So if you want to empower, if you want to bring a change in your organization, in your staff, empower them. Send them on leadership programs. Invite us to come and speak at your organization. I have a team that can go in and help you to address this. Next point. Building trust and credibility. Oh my goodness, this is a tough one. Trust and credibility. These are two aspects that is difficult to build up, but is quickly to break down. You can build up credibility, trust and integrity over a long period because people will want to see over a long continuous period that your life, your business, your organization, your product is credible, is trustworthy for a long period. Anybody can have one moment of success or two. Even a broken watch can be right twice a day. But if you want to be effective as a leader, build trust and credibility so that they can remain the same for a long period. Leadership will focus on ethical leadership, character issues, integrity, authenticity. These are the things that must be on the tongue, in the words, in the life of your staff. It's how you produce your after sales service, your client service, how people perceive you in doing things. We're living in a global world, as I've said in the beginning of this session. We must have a global perspective. The fact that you're currently localized, your product is currently localized, doesn't mean it need to be remain localized. I've trained more people over the past 4 years than 22 years in total. Just in the past 4 years, we have trained more than 26,000 people on this platform, through Zoom, through Teams, through Skype, through the videos I've recorded and made available. In the past, it was localized. Wherever I am will be the training, and I cannot be at two places simultaneously. But through this dispensation we are living in, I can be at the same I can be here, but I can be across the globe at the same time. And we are. People are tuning in from right across the globe. Even my live streaming of my sermons on a Sunday, we've reached in the past 4 years more than 40,000 people. The footprint of your organization has been enlarged through the global community. Have that global mindset. The product that you are producing might be needed in the USA. It might be needed in India. They would never have known about it if you do not have a global mindset. So get exposure. Give your organization exposure. exposure to diverse perspective, cultural awareness, ability to lead in a global context, know how to speak global, have the mindset of continuous improvement. Through this, we will foster the culture of learning and improvement in our staff, which will in turn help you and them with a high performing caliber. Your organization will perform on a higher level. I want to close with the few aspects of compounding leadership growth, the strategies on how to get there. Number one, setting incremental goals. Don't just have a 5 and a 10-year plan. Have short-term goals. Have goals broken down into edible sizes. How do you eat an elephant? Small pieces at a time. Take your 10-year program, your 10-year goals, bring it down to 1 year, if necessary to quarterly. But have these incremental goals. This will help you in your planning and the execution of your plans. That will allow you to enjoy consistent progress over a long time, because people will see the incremental goals, the small steps, as goalposts. And achieving goalposts, motivate your staff. So we can motivate our staff without even giving them a salary, by just them enjoying small victories. So here's a guide for incremental goals. Self-assessment. Look at your own current leadership skills, your strengths, your areas that needs improvement. Identify the competency levels you have and which ones you need to develop. The internet can be used for so many things. YouTube channels. Develop what you need or you lack. Get experts into your life. Get a mentor. Sit down with somebody that has walked the road, experienced success. Long-term vision. Define your long-term vision. And envision yourself in the future. See yourself in the future. Look at you where you are currently. You have achieved more. And you came such a long way from where you used to be. In other words, you look much better right now as what you looked 10 years ago. And you will look even better in 10 years to come. Help your team to define the goals into their perspective, in their department. Break them down into smaller, biteable, digestible, achievable milestones. Have quarterly and monthly targets. Work through these targets. Sit down with them. Measure the progress. Look at the challenges. Make assessment where they have failed, where they have grown, or where they need some improvement. And even for the staff, they must have their own targets of their own key performance areas, KPIs. Help them to do that. It will help you to lead more effectively. Have a skills development plan, which links to the previous point. As you sit down with your team, with your leaders, have a skills development plan. I've got a whole spreadsheet of the people that I'm currently mentoring, ticking off what has been done, what is outstanding, where are they going, what needs to be implemented in their own lives. Put it in writing so that you can know the journey and they can see the journey themselves. And that will create an excitement within them. Have planning activities, training programs, workshops, reading, acquire certain skills, employ people to come and do some leadership skills. But don't let it become boring. Don't become predictive in these development programs. Schedule regular moments of reflection. I don't say do it every week or every day, but have at least 1 day in a month, where you sit with individuals doing reflection over the month, and if necessary, have more of these sessions more regularly instead of just once a month. And then you document the progress. Then you can write down, these were the areas that they struggled, these were implemented, and this is the outcome. It will help you in their evaluation or their performance evaluation. It will help you to design a program for future reference. And as you go through this documentation program and the evaluation program, celebrate their wins with them. It might be small, but it's big for them. And help them to become adaptable, flexible. An inflexible leader will break under pressure. Teach them to embrace change, not to see change as an enemy, but to see change as an opportunity. And the last point before I'm done is networking and mentorship. Encourage your team to engage with their peers, with mentors, with people who can provide and guide them and support them in achieving their goals. Networking can offer valuable insights and opportunities for growth. When I want to expand into a new field, I sit with people who has done this before. I said, teach me. As ETS said, input. Get input. Sit with people that has done it before. Don't reinvent the wheel. I can promise you 99% of the things you want to do has already been done by somebody, recorded by somebody. Read it, listen to it, watch it, but keep on growing. Get a mentor in your life. By continuously setting and achieving incremental goals, you are creating a compounding effect of your leadership skills and your overall effectiveness. This approach allows you for sustained growth and development, which will contribute to the long-term success of your leadership roles. So next time on the series of compounding leadership growth, we will be looking at how to overcome these challenges. Again, thank you for watching this morning. Watch it again. Share it with people on your Facebook page. Let as many as possible people watch these teachings, creating them a hunger for self-improvement, for growing in their own leadership. And remember, my YouTube channel, subscribe to it. Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your day.